Again?
Yep. Stan, I got myself into sort of a sticky situation. My wife and I have been happily married for 10 years now. For the past 2 years, though, we have become really close friends with another couple, and we hang out at each other's houses all the time. We take trips together. I introduced my wife to my female friend and her husband because they are truly good people. My wife and my female friend started hanging out together. What I failed to reveal is that me and my female friend slept together only one time many, many years ago after a drunken night at the club. We never had a relationship. We never did it again. We maintained a friendship and nothing more all these years. Fast forward to now, and the four of us were all hanging out the other night, and everyone was drunk, including me. I slipped up and said, I was so drunk that night you gave me some. But I was talking to my female friend, and my wife and my female friend's husband, they had the dumb look on their faces. Even though we explained how many years ago that this happened, my wife is still not speaking to me over this. I would be lost without my wife. I should have told her, but it was 20 years ago, so me and my female friend decided we would not tell either one of them. My friend's husband is cool. He said we all have a past and we are all grown and we have moved on, but my wife is still pissed. How do I make this right with her?
That's tricky. So the biggest problem is that you didn't reveal this earlier on, right? So she found out hindsight, and so that makes it kind of sticky. But you just own it. You own it. You sit down and you talk to her about it. You let her know, well, this was the past. I didn't really see that it was relevant for us, but now that it is, yes, it happened one time. So it was a drunken night, and so they didn't carry on the emotions of it all. It didn't become a relationship. So you're grown. Grown people do grown stuff sometimes.
So do you feel that the wife is wrong for, being the one? She's like the husband. He took the news and was just like, whatever. But the wife, she's pissed. Do you feel like she's wrong for being mad because,
Well,
finding out like that?
it's a sting. It's a sting because she wasn't aware, and so it's almost like almost a slight to her. She feels a little embarrassed, and she feels away because it wasn't revealed. But that's when you sit down and say, well, I didn't want to cause an issue, and it was the past, and you try to work through it. But it didn't happen recently. It shouldn't affect the relationship. Me personally, like we're grown, right? Mm-hmm. So just say somebody that you slept with in your past. I could still be cool with them if I feel that that has been way in the past and whatever. And that situation is just what it is. If you're mature enough, then you're supposed to be able to be all right with that.
I agree, but the monkey wrench in it is that I've revealed, like for me, when I met him, and sometimes this can be to your fault, women. So I'm on the fence with whether or not you're supposed to tell everything about your past to your new man. Because sometimes it can be held against you, and sometimes they can be thinking that you still like that. But I did. I was just like, I did this, I did that, I did this, and da-da-da-da. So that when we are out together, there's nobody who can have a hand up on my husband that knows something about me and them that he doesn't already know.
And so I respect that.
Yeah, I'm just going to tell him because he going to be coming into circles and stuff, and I don't want my husband to be the one that don't know. You know what I mean?
And so that's a good look because at the end of the day, we all have a past. Right? And so you own it. And so, if you're ashamed of your past, you probably did too much. So at the end of the day, you own it. And so that's what you do. You go to your mate and, yeah, we did have a little thing. It was a one-time situation. The Douce kicked in. Shout out Jay-Z. The Douce kicked in and, it got a little twisted. But then we came to our senses the next day and it was over. And so that's it. And so that's a mature thing.
I agree.
I have a few friends that I slept with years ago in the past. And, they went on with their life. I went on with my life. And we still cool. And it's no big deal. And so do you. And so these things happen if you're mature. You have to be mature.
Have to be mature.
So
I'm cool with like any women that I would come across now that I know used to have a past with him. I would be cool with them. We'd be like, hey, girl, whatever. Because, again,
that's the past.
That's the past. And I'm comfortable and secure in my relationship now.
So let me ask you, though, how do you feel when you don't know, like it wasn't revealed to you, and then you run across this young lady, and she's in our circle? How do you feel if I didn't,
if you didn't reveal
I didn't reveal that,
and then I happen to find out some other kind of way, like, dang, and I've been friends with this girl. We've been
and I didn't tell you because we only slept together one time. I didn't feel the need. So what do you say now?
I'm gonna be a little irritated because you didn't tell me, but I'm not. It's not gonna be like this lady. I'm not gonna not speak, and we're gonna be fine. Like we always get over stuff in 24 hours usually anyway. And so I'm gonna be like, why wouldn't you have told me? Like I at least want to know when I'm going to eat with this girl and we going on trips together and stuff. She saw your penis too. Like I mean, just want to know.
She
like,
did, but she
knows.
saw it in the past, and it was a one-time situation, and we didn't get wrapped up in it, so it was no emotions involved. It was just a thing, and so
like
that happens. Things
I would be
happen.
annoyed just initially because I'm like, dang, babe, you could have just told me. But at the end of the day, I don't really care. I just don't care. I really don't. Will anybody have any comment on that before we move on?
What do you guys think? Anybody want to add to that? Do you?
Can you be?
So would you be open to that? Would you say, okay, I'll just accept it, or would you be in your feelings? Would you be in your feelings because your mate had a past? Let us know. Get the mic.
Not just had a
What you
past,
say?
but they got you hanging out with somebody, taking trips with someone that you slept with, and they never knew.
What you think, big homie?
I feel like what's understood should just be understood, and things should be told in the beginning, you know, especially if it's a sting and you know it's going to be a sting. Sometimes you'll see things happen before it happen. So I feel like let it be known, put it on the table, put all your cards out there. Now, I wouldn't say all your cards, but the ones that could sting,
Put them ones out there.
definitely put them on the table. So,
Right.
So
just be open and honest with your partner.
So to your credit, you say those that do sting. Like, we get that. So she didn't probably see this as a sting because of a one-time thing, right? So you figure, okay, it only happened one time. I don't need to talk about that.
Right.
That's probably how they figured it.
Right.
But then it became a thing because it got exposed. So
And if it's exposed and she feel the way she feel, then I'm gonna have to deal with that. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, that's just how she feel, and I can't disregard that if she's my partner. So we deal with it day by day, like the clothes in the closet, man. You can't wear them all in one day. So
I like
That's
it.
how I
I
look
like
at
it.
it.
That.
I like it. I
like
like it. I
that.
like it. And so
I love
to
that.
his credit, that's the way I see it. Like, at the end of the day, everybody, if they knew what they did in the past from your mate, you would be offended in some way. If you knew everything your mate did in the past, something would make you feel away. Unless they just was a square and they never did anything, which is rare. Who we got?
If old boy know his wife and understand the structure of their relationship, soon as he knew they were gonna hang together, he should say, "Hey, babe, let me holler at you real quick."
That's
That's
true.
it.
That's
That's
it.
all. That would have
That's
hit
true.
nail in the coffin.
That's
That's
it.
true.
And so I agree with PJ. So at the end of the day, if you know that you're going to put your mate in a certain twisted situation, then you always protect and guard them. You guard them. You always have their back. So you say, let me holler at you because I see this great big situation. And that's how you handle it. So I respect that as well. So it could go either way. And at the end of the day, I'll say this. It's a maturity level to relationships.
Yeah.
So you have to be really mature when you have a mate.
For
And so
sure.
even if you're not married, if you're just dating, you should be mature enough to talk to them about your past, about whatever, how you feeling. And if they can't understand that, then it's a maturity thing. You know, they have to be able to be mature enough to accept certain
I
things.
agree. I totally agree. Well, thank you. If you all have a relationship question for me and Stan, or if you want to ask something about our relationship, I'll give you the tea. I'll give you the business. You got
Big man,
another
what you
question?
got real quick? Real quick, we
Real
got a question in the audience.